guys, it's James Dainard with Heaton Real Estate, and welcome to our $6.5 million flip.
Had to be based around the stucco, the structure that was already here. So we went with a bright and airy, like California kind of vibe, and just picked very neutral, somewhat traditional with little hints of modern to kind of spice it up. Okay, so for the kitchen, we wanted to keep it nice and bright and airy, so we have a lot of white linen, around, at least on the perimeter cabinets. And then we accented the island with some warm wood finishes, and then pops of color, a little richness with the countertops. And then we just picked some more neutral but kind of fun shapes for the backsplash.
So if you remember, we found this deal on market for $2.75 million. It was actually sitting there for over 6 months and no one wanted to purchase this thing. After it was listed at $3 million, we offered them $2.75. We went back for 3 months on this deal until the seller finally came to our terms. We put $1.2 million into the renovation, which is about $210 a square foot, and about double what we normally do on our fix and flip, and we sold it for $6.5 million in a 10-month period. This is a home run deal. A lot of that came from market appreciation, but also putting in the right specs and designer finishes. So we're gonna walk you through this project, and I'm gonna take you through our scope of work and how we got to this high number. So the first thing that you want to do when you're looking at doing any kind of luxury flipping or anything that you're trying to sell for a major premium is make sure you add character and flavor with the right kind of product. So things that we did throughout this property, we added indoor-outdoor spaces, we added custom lighting, but then we added little details that don't cost that much but make the buyers feel really good about the product. So we built in a wine wall, feature wall, right off the dining room. That way they come in the front door, they get a vocal point right away. In addition to, as you come through the front entrance, we spent a lot of time on we wanted that first impression to feel loud. We wanted it to feel big. We wanted people to feel the house. And so we made a giant feature wall with custom marble, wainscoting, and painted all the way to the ceilings. These are 20-foot ceilings, so they have a major impact on how people feel as soon as they walk in the front door. So what really is the difference between a regular flip and a luxury flip? The first thing that is a major difference is a lot of times you have to hire different types of tradespeople. When you're selling something more expensive, you want to be able to offer a warranty like you would when you build and develop a new home. So on this specific project, we brought in a good friend of mine and a builder, Eric Placco, and we brought him in to finish out the site. When we purchased the property, it was actually 50% complete. It was 70% through rough-ins, and we had to take over the investor's kind of mess from here. By bringing in Eric, it allowed us for when we marketed and sold the property that we could sell it with a builder's warranty to where the buyers feel good about it. Also at this price point, they also expect it. With our normal fix and flip properties, we never offer that warranty besides a standard homeowner warranty. So as we get to the kitchen, how does this cost go from $100 a foot to $220 a foot? Well, it all comes down to your trade costs, which are going to be about 20 to 30% more on something like this, and also the finishes and fixtures that we're picking throughout the whole project. As you can see, we have a huge oversized kitchen, chef-style appliances, and custom cabinets versus more of a builder-grade cabinet that we typically put in. This cabinet set costs us nearly 3 times what we would normally put, normally put in a house for the entire cabinet set. This cost us $40,000 in cabinets with another $10,000 to $15,000 in for countertops. Other things that we had to upgrade. We had to put in chef-style appliances. This appliance package, we went with Wolf appliances and Sub-Zero fridge, cost us nearly $40,000. Whereas on our normal package, it's $2,500 to up to $8,000. So it's a big variance in cost there. Other things that matter substantially on your budget is what kind of flooring, fixtures, and finishes that you're doing. On our spec allowance was nearly 5 times greater than our normal flip. So if you really take a look through the process, it's really about just accounting for the cost, not actually just doing the luxury flip. It was the same process as a normal flip. We found an asset, we put together a plan, we put the allowances and budget together, and then we put the plan in play. This project was actually easier than most of my normal flips because I had the right crews and team together. So as we come through, we've done all sorts of little extra details to help get the premium price. We added in 3 different fireplaces throughout the property. We put in $10 a square foot floors rather than $3 foot floors or $4 foot floors. And then we spent some extra time and detail adding in for spaces, so again, to get that high premium dollar. We sold this home for nearly $1,000 a square foot, which is on the top end of the market, so we had to add extra specs in. For example, when we first started buying this property, we were just gonna deck this, leave it undercover patio, and call it good. But because the market was climbing so high and we knew we had to give that important finished space, and also in the Pacific Northwest, you want that undercover outdoor space because of the amount of rain we get, we spent extra money on tiling on the deck. We sided the whole inside of this deck so it feels like extra space to where people can live in and outside, which is hard to do in the Pacific Northwest. Items like landscaping we took from going normal sod and a normal landscaping plat with just different plants. We added in extra things. We installed over 150 trees on the site. We put in turf in the backyard so people can go in and out all year round without having to worry about tracking mud through their property. These little extra things that make people's lives a little bit easier is what you need to do to get that high dollar out of your property.
Master, we went with, again, very neutral, but fun shapes and sizes. So we have this neutral tile, but it's in a 24 by 48. We're going to inlay this natural stone as a little area rug to break up the space. And then we are going to keep the bathroom also very neutral, but we're gonna add a really cool stone bench to make it a little more elevated with some brass finishes. And it's kind of going to have like a restoration hardware, a little more serious feel in the master. Everything else is a little more playful.
All right, so let's take a look at the rest of the house, and we're gonna show you these little extra details that we did to help get this top dollar price. So things that we had to do prior to renovating this home, we had to actually rip out a lot of good materials and framing just to get it to the new standard. For example, I had a red tile roof that was brand new. That's a $50,000 roof. We ripped it right off, put a new metal roof on that cost us nearly $100,000. Door heights, they had them all set at 8 feet. We had 20-foot ceilings and 12-foot in other sections. It made the house feel small when we had this grand home. We ripped out every door framing and installed larger doors. And then things like this, inside of every type of space, we wanted to give it some character and feel. So in our powder room, we spent some extra money. We installed marble floors, which are nearly $25 a square foot. We did wallpaper throughout just to give it a little extra flavor without going too overboard on the borders. And then we did designer light fixtures and plumbing fixtures throughout. Other things that we spent money on to get the optimal value is here's our laundry room. We put in rather expensive $20 a square foot terrazzo floors in our laundry room because in this large family home, it's nearly 6,000 square feet. We wanted anybody that's living in it to feel like they can get all their stuff in there without disturbing their living spaces. So the laundry room is actually the size of probably 2 bedrooms. They can get washer dryers in, they can stop, we added custom cabinets so they can get the storage in, and then we made it feel less laundry-like by putting in the extra finishes like tile, paint, and just making it feel more like a home rather than just a utility space. So as you see, this house, the reason it commanded such a high price is we have all the grandness and feel that people are looking for. We have 25-foot ceilings in the entryway. We have this feature fireplace where when you walk in, you notice it right away. And then we installed nearly $25,000 in railings throughout this property, so it's wide open, you get the light feeling in, and then as soon as you come in, you feel the house all the way through. The house has a really good floor plan, which is also something that you want to account for when you're looking at these projects. It's not just about the bells and whistles you're adding, or the designer finishes, or how much money you're spending. You want to make sure you have the right product. The reason we pulled the trigger on this house is we had big space. We knew we were going to be able to go out at a price per square foot that was reasonable. New construction homes are selling for about $1,200 a foot right now. We sold ours for $1,000, so we had it in our margin. The other thing is, the specs were going to dictate how high of a price we got. It was also just the total house. On this upstairs floor, we had 4 bedrooms, 4 baths with a formal ensuite that is oversized. It had the right space to get the top dollar. If we wouldn't have had this family-friendly plan, we might not have got the same exit price. So again, it's not just about the specs, it's not just about the paint colors or what you're putting in. You want to make sure the whole project speaks for itself. So as you come through this section, we want to kind of show you off. This house is huge, it's 6,700 square feet. So we'll get lost in it by trying to show you every which way, but I want to show you guys the master suite. We spent a ton of time laying out this plan. We reframed the whole thing just to make it feel huge and that people can kind of just get lost in their own bedroom. We have 2 oversized closets, a his and hers. His, a little bit smaller, and hers, that is also a very large size. We put in custom cabinets all the way through for racking. This is not stuff we put in our typical wire racking or standard design. We want people to come in, feel move-in ready, they can get all their stuff in and just live in the house right away. The master bathroom was huge and massive, so we reconfigured this whole thing. I mean, this is literally the size of probably our in-suite bedroom that we do in most of our standard homes. We ripped out the fireplace, did a double side to give it more ambience throughout, freestanding tub. We went with a restoration hardware feel throughout the house with all new oversized tile, designer cabinets, and a shower that you can probably fit all 5 people in if you want. This shower is roughly 8 feet by 8 feet. So they can go in their shower, they can get lost in it. And then one thing that we didn't do, and we would have done if we were chasing that $1,200 square foot price point, is we didn't do a steam shower. So just because you're doing a higher end project, you still need to manage your scope of work and what you're actually gonna do to it. It can get very out of control by adding the right bells and whistles, so make sure you're picking the right plan based on what your comps are telling you. If we were targeting that $1,200 square foot, I would have added those extra bells and whistles. I would have put heaters and an outdoor theater or kind of entertainment area and a built-in barbecue on the back deck. So just because you're doing it nice doesn't mean that you need to go overboard as well. That would have got us $0 more for this house. So as you can see, the master's roughly about 600 square feet with the closets, the bedroom. It's got its own little sitting area through here and the see-through fireplace going in. So before you get into any kind of more expensive or luxury flipping, just always make sure that you're putting together the right scope of work and then you actually also have the capital to do so to finish out these projects. The amazing thing about these projects is you don't have to do a ton of volume. You can focus on one. They have high margins, big profit margins. But at the same time, you got to make sure that you have the capital to do so. So ways that you can get yourself into luxury flipping If you don't have the capital, is make sure you have the right plan in place. Make sure you have the right resources. If you have the right deal and the right resources, you can raise capital or bring in a partner to help fund that transaction for you. Things that you always want to do before buying that luxury flip is make sure you tour what the value or the comps are prior to closing. On these homes, the cost of construction can range anywhere between $200 and $400 a square foot, depending on what kind of finishes, what kind of exterior doors you're putting in. There's a huge variance in these kind of swings. So make sure you know the product, what you need to put in, have the right construction team, and if you don't have the capital, then go raise from there. But I want to thank you guys for coming out to our project. We are super excited at Heaton Dainard. This is the most expensive project we've ever done. So now that we are pending, the money's coming in, what do? We move on to the next one. Stay tuned and we'll take you through our next set of luxury flips in the near future.